Well, it is a beautiful morning of the 25th out here. Let's see what's going on in a few other fields. Right now I'm in a dryland canola field north of Nobleford. Let's take a quick look. This field has been seeded for well over 2 weeks now, and we are starting to see a little bit of germination. So we do have some canola coming out in a few rows where it was able to get moisture. But in more often than not case, there's very poor or no stand wherever that seed remained dry. Unfortunately, now we are getting flushes of canola coming up. We did get a really good kill with the pre-burn, but now all this kochia is coming back. So this is Liberty Link tolerant canola, so we're probably going to have to come in here next week with a shot of Liberty, get all this kochia cleaned up before it gets too big. Well, dryland peas around Nobleford Barrens looking not too bad. There's still a few gaps in the rows here and there where there's some dry seed. For the most part now, we're about the 4th leaf node, which puts us well into herbicide timing, which is usually in that 3 to 6 node stage for a product like Viper. However, because the field conditions have been so dry, there's very little for any weed emergence. And we did use Authority Supreme in a lot of these fields. Oh, there's a wireworm right there. So not too terribly concerned about weed control at this time. I think we're probably going to be skipping Viper in quite a few of these fields, and we'll see what happens in the next few days as to whether we need to spray or not. Now, these fields also did get nodulator as a granular inoculant, so I'm just going to take a quick look here for any sort of node formation. You can see by all the soil clinging to the roots, we have a very healthy biosphere on these. Right there by the end of my thumb, there's a small node starting to form. So it looks like we don't have great nodulation yet, but this is pretty early for looking for nodulation. So I'm sure in the next couple weeks here, we're going to see lots more nodulation as long as we get some rain. I heard a funny one the other day that there's no such thing as a mistake on a farm, only trials. The only difference is a mistake doesn't have a flag. So if you stick a wire flag in the ground at any one of your mistakes, especially if they can be seen by the road, your neighbors will just think it's a trial. In this case, it's an ultra-high seeding rate trial. Just here checking out this barley field, and I see a few plants with some yellowed leaves, so stuck my shovel in the ground to check them out. You can see down here we have a wireworm, a real nice big fat one. So this is probably one of the destructor wireworms. This is the larger size, the more destructive of the wireworms. So he was definitely doing some feeding here. When we look at the crown of this plant, you can see there's quite a bit of feeding damage right there. So he was definitely in there shredding that stem when I dug this up. So not uncommon to see at this stage. The seed treatment, which in this case is Taraxa, is pretty much worn off. We've been over a month since seeding, so it's not unusual to see some wireworm feeding at a time like this. At this growth stage, basically the barley or wheat would be expected to outgrow any sort of damage, and that is likely going to be the case here, especially if we actually get some rain. Well, here's another barley field with some significant gopher patches and damage. You can see they have significantly thinned out the stand in quite a few places. Not going to be a whole lot left here. Luckily, it's only a part of the field. Here's another field of barley. It got Talinar sprayed in it just a couple days ago. I believe this was Monday. You can see these lamb's quarters are really starting to feel it. Not seeing any, yellowing or necrosis or anything yet too much, but they are certainly going limp. So are the dandelions and stuff like that. There was a few dandelions that were starting to flower, and they've pretty much started to go limp already. So seeing some pretty good effects so far. Well, it's sure nice to finally see a decent stand of canola. I was starting to get worried I wouldn't see any this year. This is, of course, on irrigation and looking not too bad. We got quite a few new emergers. There's still some cotyledons coming up here and there, but most of them 1 to 2 leaf stage now. Looking pretty good. No sign of flea beetles. I can honestly say I haven't seen any problems with flea beetles yet so far. You can see we do have quite a few weeds starting to come up in here. This little guy right here, this is red root pigweed. We can tell by that kind of reddish color there. So lots of small weeds starting to come up on irrigation. Lots of lamb's quarters. There's buckwheat. There's mallow. Here we got some kochia. Lots is coming now that the canola is, so time to get in here and do some in-crop spraying. Well, here's the first little bit of flea beetle damage I've really seen so far this year. There's just a couple plants here showing some damage. Pretty few and far between. Definitely nothing worth spraying at all. And of course, this is treated canola as well, so we should be in pretty good shape here. Most of it is looking fine, so just have to watch, make sure there's no hot spots. Here in this field we have extremely heavy emergence of pigweed. It is just coming up thick as can be, mostly all in cotyledon stage right now. Now pigweed and lamb's quarters are quite similar in many ways, but in one way that they're different is that pigweed does require quite a bit warmer soil temperatures in order to germinate and get going. So typically we don't start to see it until about now or later on. So quite often it can be more troublesome than lamb's quarters in crop, just because simply if weather conditions are cool, it does not emerge in time to be controlled by in crop and germinates soon afterwards. Now here's another field of stressed out and limp canola. It's looking a little worse for the wear in here. Some of these plants are pretty much completely fallen over, but I have checked, there's no cutworm damage or anything. That's just how dry all this is. So extremely stressed. I'm having a hard time recommending herbicide timing in a lot of these fields because even the kochia seems to be smart enough to not come out of the ground. The only weed that doesn't really seem to be struggling in these conditions is the Canada thistle, because it is such a deeply rooted perennial that is coming up from the deep underground rhizome. It never does seem to have problems with access to moisture, and indeed there is still some pretty good moisture once you get down to the 6-inch depth or so. But yeah, as you can see, the canola that was seeded in here a few weeks ago, there's pretty much hiding our hair to be found in here. Basically no germination at all in this spot, only Canada thistle. It's not just the canola and stuff that is suffering. Take a look at this dryland alfalfa. You can see how stressed out it is as well. Not looking particularly good in here. I think this will be a fairly sad hay crop. Well, this field of sandblasted lentils is slowly trying to make a recovery. There is going to be a stand in many of these areas, even with the worst areas, but they are going to be quite a bit delayed here. You can see these guys are still pretty small compared to the rest of the field. A lot of this is regrowth after the tops were basically completely cut off. Still hasn't been any rain here either. Most of the field, however, outside the headlands is in relatively good shape, but you can see these green patches out here. That's all wild oat emergence, so we need to be coming in here with a pretty heavy rate of centurion to take care of that. Otherwise, this field did receive fierce and is pretty clean of broadleaf weeds. It's just the grassies we got to take care of. Right across the road from those lentils, the fall rye is still looking pretty rough where it got sandblasted. It's trying its best to recover, but without moisture, it is really struggling. So some of it, or a lot of it I should say, is trying to put out heads, but I don't think it's going to amount to a whole lot. Once you get farther out into the field, a lot of that sand and dirt got absorbed by the rye, and you can see once we get out there, we got a pretty good stand, and it's looking much better, but even it is really starting to show some drought stress. This poor canola seed, though, is certainly looking worse for the wear. I'm in quite a ways from the headland here, and there's still very little canola, but there is a few here and there. This was starting to emerge a couple weeks ago when we did get this erosion event, and now all that canola has either been buried or just completely cut off and removed. Now, this is an in-vigor canola, so there is a little bit of a reseed guarantee on it. They'll at least cover some of it, but it has not been reseeded at this time because there's no moisture to seed into and pretty poor soil bed conditions. We're very lumpy, bumpy, with just dry silt in depths of 0 to 6 inches across the field. Here we've got a really nice line in the field, but it's not the usual line or the usual field. This is on pasture land, and last year we sprayed True Range in here. You can probably guess which side it is, but it is this side. You can see we got a real nice line here where we've got all of our broadleaf weeds, all of our perennials and dogwood and all that kind of stuff. And then over here we've just got nice grass. I mean, nice grass is a relative term. This area is pretty good compared to a lot of pasture land I've seen lately that is burning up, but you can see there's very little for grass actually here compared to here. So I would say this has had very good effect, has definitely brought up the production on the right hand side for this year. Well, down here by McGrath, the crops are definitely pretty stressed out too. I'm up on a hillside, dry hillside right now, south exposure, and you can see how much stress this crop is under. Lots of yellowing. At this point, we're probably starting to abort tiller formation, stuff like that. It's not in great shape. You know, we're coming into herbicide timing on a lot of these fields. And I wouldn't be in any hurry to apply herbicide on a field like this. We just cause additional stress the crop may not survive. But if we do get some rain this weekend, then hopefully the crop will make a comeback and we can spray then. But I wouldn't be in a hurry to spray before we get rain in some of these situations. Well, it's Friday morning by Fort McLeod now. We did get a little bit of rain in this area last night, about 1 millimeter or 0.04 of an inch. Very impressive lightning show though. But you can see we do have some of that shallow seeded mustard here is starting to emerge in cotyledon stage. But more often than not, there's very little here. So very poor emergence here so far. So hopefully we get some more rain here this weekend. Still looking pretty positive. So we'll just have to see. Well, for right now, it is a warm, windy Friday morning. Hopefully we will be getting more rain this weekend. Conditions are still looking favorable. So hopefully next week we'll have some mud and we'll see you then.